Hi, I'm Chie Kutsuwada. I'm originally from Japan and I live and work as a manga artist in the UK at the moment. Today, I'm going to tell you how I draw manga style character. Today I'm drawing a character which I just came up with. And first of all, when you're drawing, well, you have a plan, you plan in your head and also on the paper, do a lot of sketches. I usually first roughly get head. If you draw head, the size of the head, the body is usually like 7 or 8 foot tall, head tall, like as a balance. So roughly speaking, I calculate that with my eyes and start drawing. A lot of people somehow forget to add neck and shoulder, so be careful with that area. And think about sections of the bodies. And also, I'm not usually don't draw human figures with clothes on directly. I first draw some kind of mannequin, naked kind of body first. Because it's a manga style character, you don't have to draw them in extremely realistic way, but you have to be careful with the body balance, like the length of limbs and how they balanced with the body. Drawing body is always difficult, but I think it's a balance. It's, you easily make head bigger and somehow hands and foot are way too smaller. This is a kind of common mistake you make when you are drawing body. And then also, when you are drawing body, you have to think of the pose. And then the natural pose, there are certain natural poses, but quite often you ended up drawing a character stand up very stiff, or like when you want to draw a character like running, but your character is just posing and stiff and looks like stopping. So that kind of thing is quite difficult to draw when you're drawing body. I always check because I'm doing it professionally quite a long time now. I'm still get doubt about how I draw body, so I'm I try to be very careful about it. You need a consistency of your drawing. So especially when you're creating stories, you need to know how ordinary female character look like, or how ordinary male character look like in your story. Then if you set the average look, you can make other variations for the younger character or slightly taller character or fatter or so that's what you think. And then once you set the average, you can get constancy. Then the world you are drawing looks more believable, which is very, very important. So I will start with the face because it's very, very important. When you're adding a face, first you need to know what kind of person or character this is, and then think about what kind of facial expressions this character might have. And then as for the balance of face, well, do the kind of traditional cross thing and get light balance, because there's no such thing as one perfect balance, because it's all about your style. So some artists draw longer face character and then some manga artists got more shorter face, cuter looking characters. So it's totally up to you. But my recommendation is don't afraid to make mistakes and adjust it. Just draw and draw until you get light balance of it. Now I'm adding detail for the costume. Why I didn't draw costume first is like you always have to remember that under the clothes there is always a body, and then, well, for me, I need to know there's a body, so I draw the body first, then I'm thinking about how the costume put on that body and how the creases and everything look like. Now I need to rub out a little bit because it's too complicated now. Why I'm using this feather is like just try to make less damage on the paper, and then no oil from your hands or that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more details before inking. Some of you already know this, but this character is not entirely human. This got a tail. Okay, and I'm adding a little bit of background now. But you don't have to like use rulers and calculate everything. The end of the day, what if it looks like, if it look light, that is important. It's not like if it's the number, even if the number is correct, if it doesn't look right, it's not. So trust your eyes, which I'm trying to do now. So I'm roughly, this is a vanishing point. And I quite often hand-drawn this kind of thing by hand without using ruler, because if it really depends on what kind of drawing you like, but sometimes if you use rulers too much, that your drawing look a little bit too, how to say, too cold or too stiff. The question I got most is how to draw hand. I've done quite a lot of workshop, but I've never had a workshop without asking that, how can I draw hands? And my answer for that is always, I'm sorry, but hands are, it doesn't matter if you become a professional hands are still very difficult to draw. And then, but one thing is, few advice for me is, when you're drawing hand, think, first of all, know what makes hand is hand. Like, we have a palm, we have a big muscle here, thumb is shorter, this finger is always longest, and that kind of thing. You need to know that kind of anatomical thing about hands. Then maybe you should start drawing like mitten kind of hands first. And then also, look at the differences. Use your hands. Take the photo of your hands doing the pose, and then I always do that when I'm drawing like quite difficult hands pose or positions. I still look at the difference or ask my friend to do the pose or do it myself. I still find it, drawing hand is really, really hard. And because sometimes I use my hands as a model, my character ended up having a chubby hand, so I have to change it later. So I'm quite satisfied with this. Okay, I think I'm almost done for the pencil stage. I'm going to do inking with fine liners next.
Hey, thanks for watching. And we have something new for you next Thursday. It is The Theater Curtain, 17 meters, fantastic, from 1880. It's short but sweet. So put down your G-pen, stop drawing manga just for a little bit on Thursday, and stay tuned here Thursday for The Theater Curtain.